In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Notes. Notes is a super powerful tool, so I'm excited to show you what it can do. Okay, so first let's jump into our project.co demo account. And I'm just going to start by showing you how to add a note to a new project. So if we go to Create New Project, and then we'll name our project Notes Example and hit Enter. The quickest way to add a new note is using the Quick Add tools here. Simply add a note, and then you see we've got a note card here. So we can click Note and go to our notes. The first thing you'll notice is we've got two sides to the screen. The left hand side is a list of our notes, and the right hand side is each note content. So you can see that we've got an untitled note here. I can name it Note 1, for example. If I was then to go and add a new note, we can see we now have a new untitled note below, and we can say Note 2. So every project can have multiple notes. The real power of Notes is with the / command menu. So I've created a different project to help me show you exactly what can be done with all the different / commands. So if I just navigate back to our projects and go to our Note demo project that I created, you can see that we have another Notes tool on here. So I'm just going to use this project to show you a little bit about what we can do. It's a bit more populated. Okay, here we go. I've created a bunch of different notes down the left hand side. You can see we've got formatting, attaching, embeds. So I just want to go through each and show you what can be done. First off, formatting. Formatting in Notes is pretty straightforward, but in project.co, all you have to do is highlight text, and then you'll see a bubble menu that lets you bold, italic, strike through, highlight and link. You also have this button here, which we call our Convert To menu. So if we highlight something, let's say we highlight highlighting, and we can convert that to any other item. So we could convert it to a heading, we could convert it to a bulleted list, a toggle, a quote, an alert, all different things that we can actually convert to. Something interesting to point out is we can actually convert some text to a whole new note. So if you write something in a note and you want to convert that to a new note, simply click Note, and you'll notice just behind my head here a whole new note has been created with the words highlighting that I had highlighted. So that can be a quick way to highlight something and push it into a new note. And when you go back, that note is linked to. So if I click here, for example, I'm quickly taken back to that new note. So it's a very quick way to reference other notes as well. You can obviously have bulleted lists. We can do that by simply typing star and pressing space, or we can use the Convert To menu like I just showed you to actually convert some text to a bulleted list. Same with numbered lists as well. This is a fairly useful one. We've got task list. It's a list, a bullet pointed list with task checkboxes. So to create that, we can just go back to a new line, hit / to show our / command menu. Then let's go down until we get to task list. And now we can create new task items. These are not tasks in the sense of the normal word where they'd show in your task tool. They're simply a task list. It's a checklist effectively. Another useful item in the formatting section is toggles. So you can see that here we've got toggle lists, and this is some text that actually has a toggle to open up some more text inside. And toggles can be nested, so you can actually have multiple toggles inside each other. Again, to create a new toggle list, we go to a new line, type / to open the / command menu, and we can actually type TOG to get to our toggle list here, which then creates us a new toggle item. So we type something, heading, and then we could open it up and type inside. Very cool. You can then convert things to quotes, or if you need it to be a little bit more standouty, if that's a word, it's not, you can create an alert out of something. We also have, of course, everyone's favourite, lots of emojis. So type /em for emoji, and you can open up the emoji editor here, add in some new emojis. Formatting, lots of different things you can do, but that's just the tip of the iceberg really. Hit the / command menu and see a little bit more about what you can do in terms of formatting. Okay, so next up, attaching. Really important to be able to attach things to your notes. It's something that we feel is super important. So first off, let me show you a few different things. So if I go in here and hit / I'm going to attach an image. If I type /im, we can then see the image chooser pops up. And then we can choose an image, such as this pineapple image here, and that will show into our note there. So a great way to add images. These can then be scaled. Ooh, get the corner. These can be scaled as you like. Similarly, that can just be dragged and dropped from your desktop, and exactly the same will happen. Whenever you do add an image or a file to a note, it'll also be added to a files tool. So a files tool will be created. So anywhere that you add files in project.co, a files tool will be added, just to make sure that you've got a single source on each project for all files, no matter if they're added to a note, a task, or a project discussion, or even to a files tool, for example. A files tool will collect all those so that you can see them. Similar sort of thing happens with files as to images. So if you tap / and then file, you can see we've actually added an explainer video script here. But similarly, you can just drag and drop files and they'll just show here, and they'll also be added to your files tool as well. Another cool thing about attaching is that you can also attach tasks to notes, and you can also create tasks from notes as well. So if we were to type /task, then you can see, like the task list that I showed you before, we have a task text and a task card. So if I choose the task text, you can see we see the new task menu. If I say task 1, and we'll keep it pretty straightforward, create and close, you can see we've got a task added straight into the note there. And if I click, it'll just open back up again. In fact, if I click and edit it, the edits show as well. It's pretty cool. And we can also add in a card format as well. So if we type /task again and choose our task card, if I put task 2, you can see we get it in a card format there. So it just depends how you want to show it. But tasks are dynamic in the sense that they are a task tool is created when you add a task, and the task will update in the note automatically whenever any changes are made to that task. Okay, next up we got embeds. Embeds is pretty cool because it means that you can embed any third-party tools just like you can as a whole tool in a project. You can actually embed anything into a note as well. So you can see here we have an Airtable base that's actually embedded straight into our note. So if we've got videos, if we've got Miro boards or Airtable bases or anything that we really want, we can just embed those in. And to do that, you just type /embed or type /em to bring up embed, and you can just put any link in there. So anything that can be embedded, that allows itself to be embedded in an iframe, will be allowed to be embedded in your note, just like that Airtable base there. Okay, so next up, more things that you can do with notes. There's lots of things that you can do. So if we go to our AI example, we have AI in project.co, and it's built into our notes. So you can actually use it in a note, a project description, and a task description as well. So any of those areas, you can do the same thing. So if we type, let me just copy this prompt here. And if I go to a new line and tap /AI, it'll bring up our AI assistant. And when you bring up the AI assistant, you're given a range of different things that you can start with. So you could ask it to write you a blog article, you could ask it to write an email or to-do list, you could explain something or write a bunch of headings for a particular topic. You can really ask it to do anything you want, and the power is in the prompt. So we've got a prompt here which says, an example prompt, create a table showing a pension pot growth over 10 years with an average annual growth rate of 4% and a starting balance of $200,000. So it's a fairly descriptive prompt, and let's see what AI does with it. So if we pop that in there and hit enter, you'll see that AI is now doing our calculations and creating a table right within your note. And this is just the power of AI. It can do things that might take you, this might have taken 5 minutes, 10 minutes for somebody who's got some Excel skills, for example, in Excel. But in Project.co, you can ask the AI to do something like this and you'll quickly have a result. So it's great for doing calculations, it's great for writing code, it's great for writing blog articles or emails, it's great for giving subject outlines so that you can actually then dive in. It's done the bare bones and you can go and add some real value to the starting point that the AI has given you. And hopefully this helps you do more work faster. Finally, our last note that I just want to show you here is reference. So we can actually reference, just like we referenced a different note before in the formatting, we created a highlight here that referenced a new note. We can actually reference anything else within Project.co as well. So to do that, we can type /ref and open up our reference tool. Now, if we want to find a different project, for example, let's find our Craft Brewery Explainer video and let's look for a tool in here. So if we want to reference a file from the Craft Brewery Explainer video, we can do that and we can find, let's reference our mood board, and then we are told that we're given the name Craft Brewery Explainer video mood board. Sounds good to me. Let's use that. And there we go. We have the link to the Craft Brewery Explainer video mood board, which is fantastic. It means that now if I click that, we're taken straight over to that file. Okay, that's a bunch of different ways that you can use notes. I just have a few things to point out. On every note, you have a few options up here. Very important options they are too. So first off is every note has its own privacy. So you can decide who can actually see and edit notes. So in all instances, creators can edit. Creators have ability to edit any note that you create. But the privacy really defines what collaborators can do. So first off, we have collaborators no access, which means that they can't even see the note at all. It's invisible to them. They just can't see it. They don't see it exists. The next option is collaborators read only. So they can, in that instance, see the note and they can view it, but they can't edit it at all. The editor is disabled, so they can see all the contents but not edit it at all. And the third option is that creators can edit. So you can have no access, read only, or give them ability to edit. This is great because it means that you can decide how locked down your notes are, and is the note available to collaborators? Is it available for them just to read only, just to see? Is that information that you just want to present to them? Or is it information that you want to them to collaborate with you on as well? And you can pin the note to the dashboard. So if we pin this reference note, and then we'll go back to our dashboard in a moment, I'll just show you how that looks. Lastly, we've got delete notes, so we can just delete a note as well. So let's head back to our note demo page, and we can see that now we have our notes tool, but we also have a pinned note here as well, which is our pinned reference note. So if you have a note that's super important, you can pin that note straight from the notes page to your project dashboard. I hope that's been helpful, and if you've got any questions about notes at any time, please get in touch with the support team. We'd be very, very happy to help.